Hello again, you extraordinary subscribers. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hemingway Land YouTube channel. Before we get started, guys, word of warning, by the end of today's video, your ankles are going to be cold because we will have knocked your socks off. Yes, people, you are going to like some of the new properties we have going live this week, so much so that I'm going to skip the weekly stories and get right to special thanks. Special thanks to all our valued customers. Starting off in Taos County this week, sold some land to Jacob, Michael, and Michael. For those keeping score at home, that's 2 Michaels. In Socorro County, sold some land to Travis, Irvin, Tina, Matt, and returning customer Sandra. Special thanks to all of those, no doubt delightful people. And in Torrance County, sold some land to our very first customer from Switzerland, Curtis. Curtis bought some land in Torrance County. And even better, paid us directly. Wire transfer. Boom! Lickety-split, guys. Okay, it wasn't one of these title escrow situations where we wait 6 months to get paid. It was overnight. So special thanks to Curtis. With all that said, guys, let's get to this week's new properties. Starting off this week, people, we're back for the first time in a long time with not one, not two, but rather 3 new adjacent properties in McKinley County. More specifically, guys, these properties are located in the Red Cliff subdivision, a region we have never previously before bought, listed, or sold land in. Now, before we get to the properties themselves, let's talk about this sub. So if we go to the map, you'll see we've got McKinley County outlined here. Running through the county from east to west is Interstate 40. And if we zoom in here on the map about halfway between Grants and Gallup, you will see the small blink and you'll miss a town of Pruitt. And if you get off the I-40 here at Pruitt and head north along this County Road 19 for about 7 miles, you'll come to the secluded Red Cliff subdivision occupying roughly this region right here. And of course, this subdivision gets its name from these picturesque red cliffs you see here. Now, it should be noted that these red rock mesas and red rock formations can be found in a couple places in the Southwest, a little bit in Utah and Arizona, a little bit in Nevada, but they don't occur much in nature, and they don't occur anywhere else in New Mexico outside of this region, where they are quite common. Whatever the case, as you can see, these mesas surround and tower over the land out here, and really act as a sort of great picturesque backdrop to this region. That's the first thing I really like about these properties. The next thing is that McKinley County is one of the handful of counties in the state which does not have a formal county-wide zoning ordinance. And as regular viewers to the channel know, that means that the county instead defers to towns and municipalities within its borders to make up the rules which will govern their specific communities. Well, fortunately for you guys, the Red Cliff subdivision is located in unincorporated McKinley County, which means it is not part of any town and not part of any municipality, meaning there are not only no county zoning ordinances to concern yourself with, but also no city zoning ordinances either. Even better is that the properties are not part of an HOA, and hence you will not have to worry about arbitrary rules from them or any annual dues either. In fact, with the exception of some very light covenants, the land is pretty much free of restrictions, meaning you can develop and use the land however your little heart desires. So as we go to the specific properties here, you will see we've got 3 adjacent lots, A, B, and C, 5 acres each, located here along Anasazi Road. And while there are no residential power lines running along this road, there are plenty of them running along Red Cliffs Road, just 1 street north of the subject properties, and servicing a number of developed home sites you see here. This, of course, means that it should be fairly easy to get power extended out to the land should you choose to build on it, as these properties are no more than 300 feet from the power lines. In addition, guys, despite its secluded location, there are underground telecom lines out here, which should also help with developing the land, and each parcel is marked with these wooden posts you see here, which may also save you some money on getting the lot surveyed. In addition, guys, it should be noted that Anasazi, as well as the other access roads out here, are all well-maintained dirt gravel, and you really don't have to drive on them all that far before you're back on the county-maintained roads here, which lead you down to the highway. Point being, it should be easy to get back and forth out here, even during inclement weather. Finally, guys, it's also worth noting that these properties sit about halfway between 2 major towns. Grants, the county seat of Cibola County, is about 30 minutes east, and Gallup, the county seat of McKinley County, is about 40 minutes west. And each of these towns boasts plenty of places for groceries and supplies, as well as fast food restaurants, parks, schools, churches, and some casinos, such as the Fire Rock out in Gallup. Point being, plenty of privacy out by the land and civilization none too far away. In addition, guys, living out here will also put you in very close proximity of a lot of great attractions, most notably the Cibola National Forest with its over 300,000 acres, ideal for hunting, camping, hiking, and picnics. Not to mention Blue Water Lake State Park, located immediately south of the subject properties, which will provide hours of boating, fishing, and general water-based recreation. Next up, it wouldn't be a Friday here at Hemingway Land without the debut of at least a handful of small dollar properties, and that's what we have this week, a handful. More specifically, 4 new properties in planning-less and zoning-less Socorro County's Rio Grande estates. That's 2 new 1-acre lots as well as 2 new 2-acre lots. Join me now, won't you, as I take you through the highlights. Starting off south of Highway 60, we've got this 1-acre lot located here along Chula Vista, just east of El Cajon, with "Can it be or do my eyes deceive me? No, in fact it is" power at the lot line. Yes, people, there's a residential utility easement here along Chula Vista servicing this developed, we'll call it developed, home site right across the road. And if you look closely here, you will also notice a second utility easement running north-south along the eastern boundary of the land, servicing some home sites just north of here. Of course, as noted, this property is located south of the highway, and you do find a lot more development out here, as well as a greater presence of utilities, not just concentrated in one region, but rather spread all throughout the subdivision. Speaking of which, a few blocks east along Chula Vista, we've got this 1-acre lot. This one does not have power at the lot line, but residential power lines can be found nearby, servicing this home site about 500 feet northeast of the property, as well as, and these are hard to make out, so you're going to have to trust me on this, power lines making their way down from the highway, stopping about a half-mile short of the property. Of course, a half-mile is a long distance to cover if you're paying for power poles, so if you do buy this one, it's recommended you bring your own solar panels or windmill. Next up, we've got this 2-acre lot, also south of the highway, and oh my god, check this out, people, also has power at the lot line. This one sits along Gardenia, just west of Hermosa, with a number of established home sites. We'll go with established home sites that you see here, evidencing the fact that it should be super simple and easy and extra affordable to get whatever you decide to park or build on the land connected to the grid. Finally, guys, our last property is also a 2-acre lot located way north of the highway and has no power anywhere close, easily over a mile before you find residential power lines, guys. That said, this one is located along Horacio in the northernmost part of the sub, where you will have plenty of privacy as well as some nice views of the foothills to the east. With all that said, going live on the website next week is, I think, this new property located somewhere, someplace in Colorado. Yes, people, it's taken almost 4 months, but we will have our first Centennial State property of 2023, if not next Friday, the Friday after. It's a real nail-biter, trying to figure out which one of these will clear escrow first, guys. Whatever the case, this new property is close to 3 major lakes and state parks, and best of all, critters. That's right, it's got these guys roaming around the property. Tune in next week to learn more. Until such time, have a great 7 days, everyone, and we will see you back here in next week's video.